Hi everyone. The next presentation will be made by the 20th group, and our topic is traffic safety. First of all, I would like to introduce the division of labor of our group members in these volunteer activities. There are 6 people in our group, including He Shulin, Sun Leyuan, Dai Yuqing, Guo Yinluo, Pang Hanyu, and Xing Yijing. He Shulin, he is responsible for making plans and summaries and making posters. Sun Leyuan, he is responsible for contacting and making appointments with relative departments. Dai Yuqing, she is responsible for preparing the required questions in the activity. Guo Yinluo, she is responsible for collecting and recording all the responses and feedback. Pang Hanyu, she is responsible for procurement and fundraising. Xing Yijing, yes, that is me, is directly involved in the volunteer activities.
Background introduction. In China, with the invitation of various of transportation and their increase in household income, more and more Chinese families have their own motor vehicles, from 93 million to 262.46 million. With the increases in the number of cars on the road, traffic accidents also occur frequently. Traffic issues deserve more attention, so we want to ask how to solve the traffic issue around us. The following is the table of road traffic accidents per 10,000 vehicles in China, 2014 to 2020. It can be seen that the number of road traffic accidents will gradually decrease from 2014 to 2020. In the final analysis, the reason for the frequent occurrence of traffic accidents in recent years is the lack of people's safety awareness. At this stage, the traffic environment is relatively complex. Various means of transportation have multiplied, and the government has invested a lot of manpower, material, and financial resources to ease the traffic pressure. However, traffic accidents still occur from time to time, which brings certain social problems. In order to prevent and reduce the occurrence of traffic accidents, we should enhance the national traffic safety awareness, said by Dong Siji.
Now I will talk about the discussion and solutions. We found several news about the government that improve the traffic safety awareness of citizens. First one, in present reports People Daily Online. In Guizhou Province, the Ministry of Transportation organized traffic policemen to give lectures to students in several schools. Second, the traffic police in Lu'an City and the local university students painted creatively and multiplied zebra crossings to strengthen the warning efforts of zebra crossing. Harbin has strengthened traffic control and increased enforcement of traffic violations. Local governments sent more traffic police on the roads. And we discussed and offered several volunteering options as our solutions. Firstly, raise public awareness of traffic safety by holding a speech. Second, follow the local traffic police on duty to popularize traffic safety knowledge to offenders. And last, print and distribute traffic safety handbooks and distribute them free of charge to citizens of the community. Well, in this purpose, we presented a question. In practice, which one of punishment and advice urge is more effective in raising citizens' traffic safety awareness. And in order to effectively solve some traffic problems around us and reduce the occurrence of traffic accidents, we finally choose the best way for this voluntary activity. Follow the local traffic police on duty and popularize traffic safety knowledge to offenders.
Next part is execution details and work distribution. This is our activity poster. It's made by He Shulin. Next is my task. First, I shot the contact information of Hebei Transportation Department from their official website. Then I contacted them and inquired about the viability of activity. About obtained permission, I determined the time and the place of the activity with the relevant department. Finally, I shared the information with all of our group members. Next is the task of purchasing. This part is trusted by Pang Hanyu. Most of them are bought through Taobao because it's cheaper. We bought the recording pen, notebook, volunteer clothing, and a cap. About our funds, mainly come from two parts: personal contribution and community donation. We raised a total of 26 yuan.
Hello, I'm going to next part. Interclusion prepare for traffic police. First of all, for traffic police, we put forward the following questions. First one is, when someone violates the traffic rules, which one do you think is more effective to police or diminish? Second one is, we have seen so many traffic violations. What do you think is the key to solving the problem? The third one is, does our volunteering increase citizen safety awareness? The fourth one is, how would you evaluate this activity and what do you think that our activity could be better? Next page. Secondly, we ask the following question about perpetrate. First one is, we will pull you and issue you a traffic ticket for your behavior. And the next question is for the written question. Have you violated the traffic rules, received a traffic ticket again in the past 2 weeks? Next page. Xin Yijin participated in the following traffic activities and found the following traffic problems. First is traffic lights intersection. Second one is reading without a helmet. Third one is deal with violations. Next page. We received the following response to our per question. The answer from the traffic police. The answer to the first question. I think sometimes punishment is more useful than exhortation in my experience, because most of the offenders are middle-aged or older, and they don't know the traffic rules and they don't have some traffic safety awareness. If you advise them, they may fall on deaf ears, but if you give them a small punishment, they will remember it. The answer to the second question. I think the key to solving traffic problems is education, and where punishment may be prevailed is it not a fundamental solution. Only through education and dissemination, making people pay attention to the traffic safety is the top priority. The answer to the third question. I believe your activities are effective on increasing of safety awareness of citizens. People break traffic rules sometimes because of negligence, and the purpose of your activity is to get them to remember this. Next page. The answer to the fourth question. I think this volunteers activity is very meaningful. Few people are willing to come out and participate in this kind of activity. Most university students prefer to below the air conditioner at home, and you have made this brave choice. At least you have learned the importance of traffic safety through this activity. But transportation is a complex system. If you want to raise public awareness of traffic safety, You should come to me more, then I can let you know more about the traffic situation. So next, then there are the response for the perpetrator. She made a written call to offender and she contended whether they had violated the traffic rules again in the past 2 weeks. We received a total of 17 responses as follows, except for some people who didn't want to share us, and some calls go unanswered. Look at the table in the picture.
Well, now let me do a brief summary. Our voluntary date is on May 4th, 2022, and the activity lasted for half a day, and we have support and assistance of the local transportation department. We have one direct participant, and our total cost for this event is 259 yuan. In conclusion, this voluntary service is in the right direction that could raise public awareness of traffic safety. We raised our traffic safety awareness first, and then gave the citizens the right guidance to urge them to know the traffic rules and abide by the traffic rules. And we also come to a conclusion in the activity that where punishment may have a significant effect on traffic violations in short term, but it cannot completely put an end of this kind of behavior. So as a traffic policeman said, we should improve the traffic safety awareness of residents by strengthening education. Next, we have some reflections. In less than a day, we have witnessed as many as 20 violations. It is not a big deal, the parties involved thought. Yes, it is. The incident itself is not serious, but this fluke mentality makes people become more and more bold and dare to do more and more dangerous things, which eventually lead to the disaster. And one more thing, the reason why I choose this topic is because I have someone disobeying the traffic rules in Malaysia. And for example, I often drive in Malaysia, and many people drive dangerously on the road. When I drive at 90 km/h on the highway, someone will immediately drive to 120 and overtake me if I'm not in the slow line on the far left. And the speed limit is actually 100 km/h. And they may be flying faster and furious turn. And I always saw motorcyclists run red lights. If there's no car passing by, then they might just go across the road even though the traffic light is red. I think it is very dangerous. In my hometown, it has the same situation. So this is the reason why we choose this as our voluntary activity. Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.